everyone, and welcome to Story Time with Movie Presents. Today, we will be continuing I Want You Hug That Gator, where we will increase our social link with that gator and hopefully get the chance to hug her. Yeah, it's just a really nice and very well made visual novel. There's a bit of an interesting backstory to it, but it's not really too relevant currently. Maybe when it gets brought up, we can continue talking about it. But yeah, we shall hug that gator. It's a visual novel set in a world filled with anthropomorphic dinosaur humans, whatever they're called. They're like half human, half dinosaur. It's kind of interesting, but that's not really what I'm here for. Contrary to popular belief, the story is usually pretty good in these games. But yeah, howdy Hypesy. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. And let's keep going. Another day, another dollar. I'll have to click it first. Though this time I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. After how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday, I don't want my stomach to endure that torture again. Instead, I just got a few hash browns from a fast food joint by the metro. I idly scroll through my feed, as I usually do, while the metro jostles about to my destination. It's been a few days now, and the strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. It's not something I noticed. No, that's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a passenger tried eating one. Some of the vines are real though, for some reason. They go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not tasty? Vegetarians don't eat the grass in their lawns after all. Right? Huh. Anyways, the lights have gone out and someone just dropped their wrecking ball right next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. Good morning, Inko. Good morning. Has work been going fine? It has. Slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing? I have, although I can't really say I get it. There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well, like look at the girl on the other end of the corridor there. Howdy, Hype. Oh, oops. Return. There we go. I have to make sure not to press any directional buttons. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. I mean, just as an example. Well, there's an event coming up, and I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. Howdy, Baguette. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, beanie. Ooh. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. Oh, and the and the what are those called? Are they mutton chops? I don't know what the merging of the mustache with the sideburns are. There we go. The coolest possible Ferris. Mr. Nito? Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with I think he would look good with a jacket. Because it's his suit that's ruining it for him. He looks way too formal with that suit. Maybe if he has like a, I don't know, a drip jacket, by any means necessary, that would make him look good. Really now? Those all sound rather expensive. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace. A what? Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way. They're pretty cheap to get. Well, alright, I'll take your word for it. We sure talk about fashion a lot though. Is that really all everything's about these days? Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about? What's Yaolao mean? Yaolao. I've heard the term thrown around recently. That was like 5 years ago. Oh. Mr. Ferris and I talked about more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. Damn, we're talking about the lit new phrases. Stuff only Zoomers can understand. Oh shoot, I pressed the button again. Oh, I don't want to do that. Ah, art. Mr. Yadakon just started talking about our first project for class. As soon as he'd said the word, Olivia's hand shot up. Her gray eyes sparkled in excitement, and a smile threatened to crush the perpetual frown etched upon her snout. The girl vibrates in her seat as she waves her arm in the air, trying to get the teacher's attention. Yadakon's own smile was strained as he and Olivia engaged in a staring contest with one another. I could only marvel as the two argued with each other without a single word. Eventually, Yadakon won by turning off the lights and turning on the cheap projector hanging on the ceiling, and playing a safety video about paint that felt far too graphic for a school setting. I remember when my teachers used to have those, like, hanging from the ceiling. They always had like a mop or something, like a stick, that they just used to press a button manually instead of having like a remote for it. I don't know if they did have remotes for it, but it's it's pretty funny. Just jury rig a solution. I don't think I'll be able to eat barbecue for a while. Thoroughly defeated, Olivia crosses her arms and pouts in her seat. And that is why we won't be using any of the more exotic materials for any projects, Miss Alford. Ugh, maybe I should have just skipped breakfast entirely. I still don't see the problem. Once you've had all the proper safety handling course, in the second semester, you'll be allowed to use oil-based paints. Until that time, however, all assignments will require safer supplies. Now, since we've pivoted to this, might as well finish the full video. The grumpy gator holds a hand to her throat, mumbling to herself as she grabs a metal flask and drinks from it. That was me last stream. With a horrible throat issue because of Mr. Solly over there. Not on screen right now, but in gym. The entire display from her was mystifying, at odds with how Ben and Liz described Olivia. In fact, it kind of reminded me of me. I can understand why, after all, Yadakon is letting Ben and I use some of his equipment in photography. That thrill of experimentation, of new possibilities. Oops. I have to stop pressing the directional buttons. No doubt that it brings a creative sparkle to her eyes. Eyes that fill with pure malice as they glare daggers my way. Oh, was I staring? Before I could offer an apology, she already had her hands on the wheels. She rolls up to Yadakon's desk. He leans forward intently. I can't make out anything that's said through the video, but going by the occasional glare back, it's not hard to imagine. Crap. I didn't really mean to offend. Yadakon notices I'm watching and motions for me to come forward. Slowly, I shift out of my seat and approach the desk. Alright, is something going on here? Yadakon speaks in a hushed tone, just loud enough for me to hear over the makeshift matinee. Olivia's telling me you're making goofy faces at her. No, I said he's been staring at me all through class. Huh. It's weird, it's like he's never seen anyone like me. Can't you move him to a different seat? Now, hold on a second there, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. Mr. Yadakon. It's like she's a different person. She fishes out a canteen of water and brings it to her mouth. You're given a lot of leeway when it comes to seat assignment, but asking for something like this? I just want him to leave me alone. She sips again. What's that about? Well then, Inko, you tell us. What's on your mind? You can't have disagreements between classmates this early in the year. I'm confused. I didn't know there was any disagreement between us. Well, sometimes it's the little things that you do that you don't even think about that affect the people the most. Anything like that come to mind? I shake my head. Olivia's glare doesn't diminish away from my field of view. I mean, I have been a bit curious about her since we sit next to each other, and I'm friends with some of her friends. We all sat together at lunch yesterday. Yadakon nods to himself thoughtfully. Sounds like he just wants to hang out, Olivia. Her face scrunches at the mere thought. Yeah, not really interested. He's distracting me from classwork. I just want to watch the video without being gawked at. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Does that resolve the issue for you, Olivia? No, I don't want some buddy in this class. She goes to take another sip, but ends up turning the canteen upside down. All out. Olivia, you can go fill that up if you want. You won't be missing anything. The video is nothing you don't already know, I'm sure. Olivia eyes me suspiciously and slowly moves out the door towards the nearest water fountain. Yadakon sighs. Alright. Oh, new music? I don't think I've heard this one before. He leans back in his chair with his arms resting behind his head. Inko, I told you yesterday if the air needs clearing, you do it yourself. Now she's in a mood because you were staring at her like a weirdo. Why am I such a weirdo? And here I thought you two would get along. She even gave you that sketch she made of you. Truthfully, I'm impressed. But here we are. What's going on, big guy? Again, sorry. It's been a pretty busy few days. Yeah, I've gotten into a cool friend group. We're also gonna sit together at lunch. Oh, come on. Olivia's there too. She didn't say much, but I got her a soda. I don't know why she's so upset at me. It's nothing personnel, Inko. It's not? She's reticent, especially when it comes to change. Reticent, not reticent. I don't know what reticent means. If you're at her lunch period too, I can see why she'd be wary of you. If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Yadakon. Yes? Why is she so open with you? How do you mean? Just now, she spoke more in that conversation than all the other times I've seen her yesterday. I saw the canteen. I figured it's something to do with her voice, but it's surprising. Her water bottle's the other way around. Unfortunately, she just really rarely talks at all. I guess she just really trusts me. I've known her since she was a freshman. She seemed to gravitate towards art and how I taught it, and soon enough I took her under my wing. But she lives with Damien, right? He's at the lunch table and she still barely talks to him. Poor kid. I hope he's doing alright. He seems to be doing alright. But yeah, she's distant to everyone else. So much so I keep hearing about weird things about her. Yadakon leans forward in his chair, suddenly attentive. Is this about you gossiping with Ben yesterday? A bit. He showed up to the table and said something about her being the same after she left. Probably some drama there, but I don't want to pry. He nods. But also, Liz told me some weird things too. Come on. Why is it so sensitive? He stops nodding. I know of her. There's something wrong? No, she just said I shouldn't get invested in being her friend. Everyone's being real weird about it, so I was curious for myself. Guess that's why I was looking at her weird. Sorry. Yadakon rubs his temples. Ay. It's way worse than I thought. What is? I'll put it this way. You've met 3 people that know Olivia, other than me. Of the 3, only one thinks highly of her, and the other 2 start unloading drama on anyone willing to listen. In this case, you. No wonder you're confused. I hadn't thought of it like that. I don't blame you. You shouldn't be involved in anything stupid. High school is yours, you know? I guess. Yadakon inhales, collecting his thoughts. Important question then. Do you really want to be Olivia's friend? Huh? I mean, I guess. Judging eyebrows raised my way. Are you really? Or are you just curious about her? He seems pretty serious about this. Yes, then. Yes, then. Olivia returns to class and rolls up, right back up to the desk. Back. Have you changed his desk yet? Yadakon nudges his head towards me expectantly, prodding me on. I'm sorry I distracted you during class, Olivia. She looks to Yadakon and gets a similar nod. Sure? I mean, you're welcome. I mean, thanks? Crap. But, no, really, I don't want to be distracted. Come on now, Olivia. The least you could do is give him another chance. You never know. I don't really want to know. I get he's, like, friends with Damien, but I don't really want to know, you know? Not in this class. But I'd like to be a friend. Look at his charming smile. It's just a curved line. She stops and raises an eyebrow. Lots of those going around recently. Like she was expecting this response. She looks to Yadakon for help. Actually, Olivia, I think he'd make a good friend for you. Huh? What? His words were like a battering ram. I'm simply saying to give Inko here a chance. I could almost see the imaginary bulwark she hid behind slowly crumbling from what Yadakon was saying. You are both quite similar at heart, though you may have different methods. Perhaps you'll find some compromise behind cynicism and naivete if you work together. Finally, the last fragments of her imaginary fortress collapse. Olivia can only look at the art teacher with timid confusion painted across her features. Oh, well, I don't... Are you for real, Mr. Yadakon? I am. He's actually in another class of mine. I've seen him. He's passionate about his camera like you are with a brush. And I do expect great things from him. Oh, okay. Sorry, I really thought, Oh! Oops, she accidentally bit her tongue. Her mouth is clamped shut. It's just my opinion. You can make your own choices, Olivia. She nods furiously. Oop, the movie's about to end. You two should get back to your seats. We good here? Olivia side-eyes me again. She nods once more. Alright. She motions for us to skedaddle. Olivia backs away to her spot. Thanks, Mr. Yadakon. For what? I just gave an opinion. I'm serious. It's up to you. It's up to the two of you if you want to be friends. Don't screw it up. I didn't mean to press the button. He waves me off again. Gets up to flip the lights. I get back up to my seat and stare absent-mindedly at the projected screen as I digest the Yadakon's words. He said he only gave his opinion, but it seems like he also gave me an opportunity to take the right steps in connecting with Olivia. And with what he said about her being a passionate with a brush, it's gotten me even more curious about her artistic prowess. Speaking of whom, I notice she occasionally gives me a side eye. I don't think she can see my eyes due to the dim lighting combined with my shades. She stares at me with a sense of strange curiosity, almost as if she's trying to get a read of me, for my face alone. But from what I can tell by her facial cues, she seems confused and almost shaken up. It's like she wants to say something, but keeps backing away at the last second. I guess her mind is also jostling around from Yadakon's words. Our teacher flicks the light switch, and I feel my retinae burn from the bright lamplights, even with my sunglasses. Where's the history? I think it's H, right? Nope, that's hide. But yeah, that's something that I don't really think about most of the time. It's like you have like a lot of thoughts about someone, and you don't realize it. They also have some thoughts about you. I don't know. Just some thoughts from me. It's difficult to communicate when you don't really communicate, right? All you have is you thinking about things, and you don't have really a different side to the conversation because it's all just inside, right? Alright, normally in your first week, we'd be doing something simple, like a color swatch wheel. However, I think all you could manage is something a bit more advanced. The Gator Girl's head whipped around at the word advanced. Whatever Olivia was thinking before regarding me seems to be forgotten, as she focuses almost entirely on the teacher. Mr. Yadakon holds up a stack of paper for us to see. First things first, I'd like for you all to fill out these topic sheets, so that I know you understand how to safely handle oil-based paints. Last thing we need is another burnt-down classroom. The way Yadakon says those words makes me imagine some pretty horrible outcomes. Once you've finished your sheets, bring them to me so I can review them. I'll be giving you a permission sheet after I know you lot won't set yourselves on fire or poison yourselves. The Allosaur guy in front of me hands back the stack, and I take a page from it before handing the rest to the Diplo girl behind me. My eyes scan over the sheet. What grade of masks do snouts longer than 3 inches require? And a realization hits me. I didn't see the first half of that video. My eyes scan over the page and I groan when I see other questions I have no answers for. All of them pertaining to dinosaur anatomy. The art teacher looks directly at me, then to the side. I try to decipher his meaning, follow his eyes. Oh. I turn in my seat and lean closer to Olivia. Hey. What? What now? What is it? I'm not gonna let you draw me. What the hell? Looking at her paper, I see that she's already answered the questions I couldn't. I show her my own page, tapping the upper section that was still blank. Olivia groans and looks to Yadakon pleadingly. All she gets for her troubles is a thumbs up. Fine. Here. She holds out her sheet for me. Wait, isn't this cheating? The art teacher wouldn't... When did he get to his desk? And why does he have a sleeping mask? If I look over the answers, I still learn the safety procedures. So what's the difference in the end? That must be what he's thinking. Either that or he doesn't care. I copy the words from Olivia's sheet, doing my best to at least rephrase them. Some of the classmates are already walking up to Yadakon's desk. He's barely reading the pages, not even taking the sleeping mask off. Thanks, Olivia. Whatever. Olivia finishes her page in a few seconds and wheels herself to the desk too. The last answer I'm fairly confident on, like what flashpoint means. I get up and go to Yodacon's desk and safely set my safety assessment down. Flashpoint is a really good DC thing that it doesn't really get adapted properly nowadays, at least. Good. Here's your permission slip to use hazardous paints. He didn't even bother to look over my worksheet. He lifts up the eye mask from his face and looks at me with one eye. What? Most of that stuff doesn't apply to you, Inko. Just don't drink the paint, or get it in your eyes, and you'll be okay. Yes, Mr. Yodakon. Attaboy. Now go back to your desk and wait for class to end. Tomorrow I'll be starting you all on something simple, like painting a cube or a ball. Yeah, model dodgeball painting. The eye mask drops down and I return to my seat. The class's clock reads 5 minutes until lunch. Olivia's back to leering at me. I consider what I should do or say, some sort of icebreaker. Mr. Yodakon said we're similar, and I can see what some of what he means. But I'm a photographer and she's a painter. So a cubist and a dadaist, the dadaist walk into a bar. Bing bong, bing bong. Have a good lunch now. The moment the bell rings, Olivia shoves most of her things into her backpack, not caring if her notebook gets crushed. When she zips up and she races out of the classroom. I guess she doesn't want to get caught in the chaos of the lunchroom stampede. I'm surprised she doesn't leave early. Maybe she was just too busy. I managed to avoid getting stuck in the frenzy by shuffling along the wall the long way around the lunchroom. It's a bit longer, but at least there's less risk of getting used as an improvised meat club. Hey, why don't I just go in through the courtyard? It's right there next to the table. Damn it, next time. Hey, is there a palm tree or something by the table now? Never seen one with a trunk that's green. I get around to the last of the crowd and approach the table. Damien's here, chowing down on a sandwich stacked with various meats. And like yesterday, Olivia's already at the table. Oh, the visuals look pretty good. Was this from last stream too? Or did they update it? Hey Damien, you've seen Liz? I thought she was joining us for lunch. Without a word, Damien points to the palm tree next to us. Oh crap, that's no tree. I look up to see Liz's head in the rafters, prodding at the vines on the ceiling. From the rafters, huh? The ceiling was a lot lower in the computer lab, so I couldn't tell as easily, but that neck is long. Anyways, hey Liz. Hey Inko, I couldn't see you from up here until I heard you. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and get my food from the vending machines again. Making my way over to the vending machines, I do the same song and dance I did last time. Card swipe and a few button presses later, earned me a couple of cans of soda, 2 bags of chips, and a few candy bars. It's like when the teacher asks if you brought enough candy for everyone, only now it's true. I head back to our table, the bundle of food stuff in my makeshift pouch, and distribute them. Nice. Need to lubricate my mouth while I keep talking. Olivia gets her share, but she doesn't say anything. Oh, sweet. And why thank you, Inko. Damien, if you'd be so kind. Already on it. Damien cracks open a can of soda, just as Liz lowers her head next to him. She's wearing a novelty soda cap. He then speed swaps the old can with the new one, almost like he's swapping wheels on a Formula 1 racer. Thank you. It's cute how they try to translate like reality, like current reality with humans only, to these weirdo dinosaurs. No problemo. Liz's head cranes back up to the top of the ceiling to continue eating the foliage. So, Nico, how's your day been so far? It's been pretty decent, I'd say. I'm mostly looking forward to photography, since Ben will show me some good photo spots. Cool. Damien just nods as he continues to munch on his sandwich. I think he's zoned out about halfway through my sentence. Oh, and also, Liz helped me submit my contest entry. Awesome. You can always rely on Liz to help you out. Flattery will get you nowhere, Damien. Just saying the honest truth. Liz entered the contest too, right? Everyone must be trying to win the cash prize. The money's okay. Her hands hold up a tray with each segment filled with different sauce. Oh, different sauce? Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. I guess dinosaurs could eat salad, right? Oh, whoops. Let's save. Just in case. It just depends on what they put in the sauce. Or in the dressing, whatever it's called. But a real prize is having your submission featured on the Sponsors magazine cover and in a featured article. How is she still articulate? Do you have any idea on how great that looks on a resume? Heck, I could probably get a sponsorship with that alone. A scholarship with that alone. Whoa, you really got all this planned out. What did you submit? She takes a moment to swallow her salad and then she shares a huge grin. I submitted my best digital art piece. Ooh, what is it? Here. The tray is set aside so she can bring out her phone to show Damien and me her entry. It looks to be a village townhouse piece, very rustic and classy. It looks very good. Yo, that's so cool, dude. That's so realistic, dude. Thanks. This took me about a week to really blend some of the more fanciful elements into each other. I based it off my grandfather's home from the old country. This is amazing. You can't even tell what this whole thing that this whole thing's digital art at all. Damien grabs a hold of Liz's phone and turns towards Olivia. She might be doing photo bashing. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but photo bashing is basically when you take real life photos and just like take elements from each photo and staple it onto other photos and you paint on top to blend it all together right afterwards. It's a pretty interesting way to do like background work or other kinds of work. It's usually background work. Like they take like a door from one piece, then take the wall from another, and then blend it all together. Then you make a house, stuff like that. But it's a pretty interesting way to do art. And I guess the only problem with it is the fact that you can't really get those photos conveniently without using some kind of stock website or like trying to figure out what's Creative Commons or whatever. Something that's like able to be used instead of copyrighted, right? You have to be careful with that stuff because you could get I guess sued. I'm not really sure what the thing is there, but there could be some punishment for that. But I have never heard anyone who's ever been sued because of using a photo. But it's best to be careful. So it's best to just use like stock websites. Hey Olivia. She jumps up, having suddenly made relevant to the conversation she was just spectating. What? I'm not giving these chips back, they're mine. Huh? Yeah, I was just going to show you Liz's entry. She narrows her eyes and leans over the image on Liz's phone. She then looks up and gives Damien a quick nod before returning to eat her chips. Damien's smile falters a little at her minimal response, though he's back to his usual grin, as Liz takes back her phone. Wow, Liz, I didn't know you were into digital painting. That looks great. Do you plan on being an artist after graduating? Oh, thanks. Well, no, I don't plan on being an artist per se. The plan is to be an antiques dealer, specifically with art. Oh, what's that mean? It means she buys the splattered canvases everyone else just uses for money laundering. he's very frank. But even though he's Damien, but no, it'll be the real deal stuff. There's a real market out there for it. So I'm taking the AP business class and using the school's prestigious art program. That's why I actually picked this place out. It's a real elite selection of graduates from here. Oh, you're the school treasurer too, right? I sure am. I'm going to do everything to make sure I'm ready for the real deal. I do love painting though. It's not just a means to an end. Wait, an ends to a means? Oh. I can't even read properly. Maybe that's why I want to get into trading. I can get the right people the right art they need. That's very thoughtful, huh? I should really start thinking of my future more. I wonder what Olivia thinks about this, if it even interests her. Damien's just exaggeratedly nodding his head up and down, and I don't know if he's agreeing with Liz or headbanging to some tune he's playing in his head. I don't think Damien... I don't think there's enough going on in that skull of his to have like some kind of music there. I think he's just nodding his head because it's the only thing he can do. Look how distant his stare is. Distant, uncaring. I look to the side to see Olivia staring down the chips bag, looking pensive. Guess I'm not the only one that's a bit worried about our long-term plans after school compared to Liz. But we got the whole year still. What about you, Damien? I don't really have a big goal set. The only reason why I'm going here is because it's the closest school to our home. Damien, I keep telling you about planning ahead. I know, but I like keeping my options open. So what are you doing in this school? I just picked out any classes that seem interesting to me. Although I gotta say, home economics is pretty fun. I get to make food in class and eat it too. From learning skills in a class like that, you'd be a perfect husband. Yeah! Wait, what? What? Howdy, Hester. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Yo, what's up, bro? Have you hugged that gator yet? No, I have not hugged her yet, unfortunately. One day, though. One day. Oh, and her face is pretty cute, too. That's a pretty good face. But yeah, no hugging yet. We're still increasing our socialing. Hugging will come later. But to get back to my point, that art contest. If I win and get that interview, it's an insane advantage. I'll say. By the by, Olivia, did you submit something for the art contest? Oh. She looks away, slightly deflated. No. Really? Oh crap, I might have a chance then. Hey Liz, that sounds a certain way. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Olivia rolls her eyes and merely goes back to munching her chips. Mr. Yadikon said you were really into painting. I really like that portrait of me you'd made. Whoa, she what? Her suspicious leer is now replaced by a murderous glare. Well, dang, Liz, what'd that throat do? Don't say that, Aster. They're dinosaurs. They're not human. Yep, lunch is the perfect time to eat my feet. Haven't actually seen any of her real work, only something she'd done out of boredom. Olivia's eyes close as she inhales deeply, the air of neutrality returning to her once she reopens them. Yeah, you're right. They're all dead by now, anyways. No, actually. Unlike Volcano High, the original Game Master, they don't actually die at the end. Hopefully not, at least. We have to make sure we don't get that ending. I just... She looks me up and down again, as though something will be different this time. Can't. What's that mean? Besides, even if I could, they're gonna be looking for the best artists here. So you gotta show that to them with how good your art is. I don't know what that means. I don't understand. They're gonna be looking for the best artists here, so you gotta show that to them with how good your art is. Okay, I understand now. But I just don't want them to look at me and feel like they have to give me a reward out of pity. Damien's face is frozen mid-bite. His sandwich is losing its meat integrity by the second as his eyes flick between Olivia and I. Best artist here, get in there, Moody. Get in there! No, I'm not good at art, unfortunately. I wish I was. But no. I'm not good at art. I'm bad. Don't think about it. I can practically hear the alarm, the blaring alarm in his head as his brain catches fire, trying to connect the dots. Come on, stop being so sensitive. Whenever I load accidentally or save, it's because I accidentally touched my joystick. And it's so sensitive, even like the slightest nudge makes it so that it highlights save instead of next. Moody is quite terrible at art. People should totally commission me, you know, to bully you, to bully and as a joke, totally. So true, Aster. Just commission me as a joke. Haha, funny. Haha, he. I want to be judged for my art and not. Olivia struggles to formulate the next few words and lets out a weary sigh. It would just feel undeserved. How? Yeah, how? Damien, shh. Has that ever happened before? Do people really do that? You weren't there for it. Some losers used to even tell me to take advantage of it. Why not? That was a bad move. Dude, seriously? Why? So I constantly get reminded of myself? So I can't separate myself from my work? So I can get complacent being worse? So I can eventually rely on it? So the playing field can be even? That's a lot all at once. I'm not even sure I got all that, but I definitely touched a nerve I shouldn't have. No, sorry. Olivia brushes her hair down. Look, I don't want to get awards and praise I haven't earned. I'm seriously not that good. I really wouldn't win. She sighs and takes a long sip of cola. Can I see some of your work? No. Man, she really shouldn't put herself down like that. I get it. A lot of students here are crazy good at art. Some are probably even better now than I ever will be, and they're just starting. It's pretty scary to think about. I mean, like that landscape of the city near the principal's office. Landscape? Hold on, I took a shot of it. It's a bit tough getting my camera out now with all the books I needed for class in the way. I lay out the contents of my backpack, taking my treasured DSLR out at last. After finding the shot in question in the menus, I turned the display towards everyone else so that they could see the glamour shot. A freshman made that painting. Just from looking at it, I can see why it won first place. I drew that. Oh. Her name is on it, isn't it? My brain finally makes a connection with the signature on the mural. That was you? Is it that much of a shocker to you? Quite a bit, yeah. It looks amazing. I mean, it's whatever. I had to have some dumb guide help me out, so it isn't like I was the only one who did it all. Yeah, but that's not the... Who cares if you used a guide? Who cares if you just copied from something else? If you worked hard on it, then it's your accomplishment. If it looks good, it's your accomplishment. It's totally on you. Because, like, not everyone can copy things properly. Why else would there be like these ugly drawings of like Spider-Man everywhere, right? Oh, you see the picture of Spider-Man. Oh, you see a circle for a head. You see the triangles for the eyes, and then the web pattern. But if you were that good at like copying, then it would look basically the same thing. So copying is a skill that you learn, and when you do copy things, you learn even more new skills like blending, or not just blending, right? But every time you do something, like you copy off of someone else, there's something you learn from that. There's always a lesson to learn. So have some dumb guide help me out. That's the fact that you actually use that guide from start to finish and made something that good. That's your accomplishment. So when you say you can't enter, it's because you already won once? Yeah, basically. She looks away from us, eating her chips in silence. I've heard the expression of being one's worst critic, but I never expected Olivia to kick herself this hard. I'm mentally kicking myself thrice over just for thinking that last part. What? Something wrong, Liz? Did she bite her tongue or something? Why is she imitating one of those pitcher plants right now? Liz? What's with the look, Longneck? Just surprised to see you in better spirits, is all. You're making it weird. Don't make it weird. Yeah, it's been ages, Olivia. To think of Randy, like Inky here, got you to open up like this in just 2 days? He gestures to me. What'd you do, man? The girl in question freezes, Damien's thoughtless comments having thrust her into self-awareness. And she just leaves. Olivia, wait. She's gone. Well, she did give me a warning. Give a warning. Yeah. I was just excited she was making good progress. The rest of lunch we'd spent trying to talk about Liz's art process. Damien looked like he wanted to bring Olivia back to the conversation, but no one had any idea of where she had gone. Still, a part of me thinks she wants to talk. So why doesn't she? Sadly, a question for another time, as Olivia's departure seems to signal the end of lunch. At least Liz and Damien waved goodbye. Leaving me to clean up all the trash from the table, including everything I'd removed from my backpack. Darn it! Photography class comes and goes. Since we're partners, Yodakon gives Ben and I the green light to walk around the campus. Ben shows me around to see his prime photo spots and such, and as such, becomes my impromptu tour guide. It's actually pretty neat to see the parts of the school that I haven't yet explored up until now. Places like the music hall, the recreational pool were the most interesting to see. Currently at the courtyard, Ben points out the views of outer landscapes around the school. No wonder Ben was eager to show me. These views are impeccable. But while he's explaining the image he has in his head, my mind still wanders back to Olivia. I wonder what I did to make her express herself so much. Inko? Inko! Huh? I was asking if you'd be available sometime during the weekend to take photos. Oh, I'm free this Saturday. Excellent, we can meet back up here. Sounds good. As we head back to class, I began to think if there's something I can do in history class. Back in history class, Miss Pauling continues prattling on about. After a final offensive that left the entire city of Triceratopus destroyed, the Chthonian hegemony was defeated, bringing an end to their crimes against both Dino and humankind. With that, the Dino-Human War came to an end and peace was finally declared after 10 years of strife. Of course, there was a matter of rebuilding and dousing all of those fires still burning, as well as what to do with all the bodies and... That was a pretty real yawn. I should probably care more about Proclin's lectures, since history has extremely strong cultural connotations. But man, is it boring. Reading Yu-Gi-Oh cards be like... Ahead of me, Olivia's turned to her default sullen, deflated gloom. She's not glowing back to me, so she's probably over whatever that was. Or she still doesn't know I'm here. Boy, will that be entertaining to see. Assuming I don't end up with a mechanical pencil jammed through a lens. The other students are similarly bored, only occasionally marking down something whenever it sounds like it'll be on a review sheet at the end of the week. There is, of course, no more note passing today. Miss Brockling's effusion yesterday must still be on their minds. There won't be any more chances given, and even though she doesn't seem threatening on her own, the consequences would be dire. Especially if she can call Solly over like her own personal enforcer. There is simply no getting around it. This is just a period we'll all have to sit through. And there isn't even any solidarity to be had in our shared misery. It's simply the reality of high school history class. The only saving grace is that she isn't stalking around the room looking for us to do something wrong. Instead, we're being lectured at. My hand mechanically copies down whatever she's written on the board. And while I should also be paying attention to what Miss Prockling is saying, I'm more than certain that we'll be reading the exact same things from our heavy textbook. So my eyes wander away from her and the board to scan over my peers, all equally as bored and feigning interest. Eventually, there's a bit of movement ahead of me. What's she up to now? Olivia folds a sheet of notebook paper back and forth discreetly, creating a deep crease. Then she licks her finger and runs it along the crease and gently pulls. The paper rips along the seam silently. Oh, is she really risking it? What she even got to gain? It's just a note passing game. Maybe she feels bad because she got caught yesterday. Oh boy. Olivia passes the note to her left. The student next to her raises an eyebrow, but surprisingly takes a note, and immediately passes it on without looking at it. One by one, my classmates pass along the note to the next. Nobody dares open the note and write something in. I surreptitiously keep track of the note in the corner of my eye as it makes a circuit around the room. Thankfully, Miss Prockling's eyes are focused on the board when I feel a tap on my shoulder. I reach for my ear as if to give it a scratch and the folded page is pushed into my waiting fingers and against my ear. I feel an edge grind across my earlobe. I chew my lip. As I feel an edge grind across my earlobe, I chew my lip to keep the hiss of pain contained. Probably unintentional, but a paper cut still stings bad, especially on such a fleshy part. My fingers toy with a bundle of paper, now at my desk. No one else had bothered with it. I wouldn't exactly call it an empty canvas, but there could be potential here. There's a crumpling noise beneath my fingertips. Where is it? There it is. I must have unfolded it while I was thinking. Looking at the sole doodle on the sheet, I see a pretty simple rat drawing, with a very realistic hand next to it, giving a thumbs up. There's plenty of space this time, and Miss Brockling is preoccupied at the front. I doubt she'd even notice. The temptation is there, making my fingers itch at finally getting a chance to do something fun in this sleep-inducing class. In fact, I have the perfect idea in mind that'd catch Olivia's attention. If that doesn't ruin everything, that is. She's not uncompassionate, but Miss Brockling has a lot less tolerance for horseplay in her class. She probably wouldn't get another chance. And going by Coach Solly's one-chance policy, and how these guys aren't even considering playing along, I bet it wouldn't really be pretty. Kind of makes me concerned for Olivia. I could just hold on to the note and give it back after class. Heck, Olivia would never even know. I don't think she even knows I'm in this class. Draw the gator girl on a half pipe. What's life without a bit of risk? I wait for Miss Prockling to start a new tangent to make sure I have enough time. She just said something about the single continent movement. Time to move. This is going to be basically a stick figure, but it's just a doodle. If only you could doodle a photograph. I'm not sure what I mean by that. I also don't know how to draw a wheelchair. In the end, it looks more like an abstract depiction of a bow-legged T-Rex than what I want. Oops. I guess it'll have to do. I check it over one last time as if I had the conceptualization to improve it. Ah well. I pass the note forwards, careful not to notify the teacher. Olivia takes the note over her shoulder, once more not checking it. She seems to deflate a bit on opening the note, probably because of all the blank space. Doesn't look like she notices whatever I did either. Recognizes whatever I did either. Maybe I should talk about it with her after class? I don't know, seems like an okay thing to do. She just passed the note again. What? Once more, the process of students taking the note and passing it along without looking at it. Although this time, it's a little more collectively annoyed. Probably won't go around again. Why the heck would Olivia send the note around again? Nobody's going to change their mind and draw something now. Is it desperation? Thoughtlessness? Whatever it is, the note's coming my way again. Once I take it, I confirm that yes, nobody, once again, nobody else wrote anything. However, there is a new doodle of a rat with a flamethrower from Olivia. Cute. Alright, I guess this time I'll draw. How about adding myself to the sketch of the half-pipe? This time, I just depict myself as a stick figure. No use trying to go outside my skill level for a note-passing game. It's simple enough to do. I even include my sunglasses. Yeah, I'm liking this. Maybe I should also make sure Miss Prockling isn't looking my way. Yeah, she's not right now. I'm in luck. Alright, time to pass this on. I pass the note forward once more. Olivia pinches the note between two fingers, still not looking back. I keep saying that, but I guess it's not weird. Why would you look back in that situation? She checks the note and looks a bit down again. She glances up to the corner I'd drawn in. Oh shoot. Oh crap. I nearly fall out of my seat from the sudden loud noise. There's a moment of unwavering silence before a voice speaks up. Miss Halford? The girl in question shrinks in her seat in embarrassment. Sorry, Miss Prockling, I saw a spider. Miss Prockling simply sighs, muttering to herself and turning her attention back to writing more notes on the board. She turns her head back slowly, just enough to be able to make eye contact with me. While she eyes me with judging contempt and curiosity, I see her hand is tenderly massaging the tip of her tail. Looking at the floor, I think she managed to chip the linoleum. As soon as Miss Prockling turns around to continue teaching, Olivia scribbles something down. She turns to look at me once more, hesitating. Then, she flicks the note in my direction. It completely misses me. I try to catch it midair, but I end up slapping my face into my desk to get it. Mr. Nito, what was that noise? I palmed the note in my sleeve and strained to keep my uninjured eye open. The teacher probably meant the foot stomping. I found that spider, Miss Prockling. The teacher grimaces. That better be cleaned up by the end of class then, Mr. Nito. Yes, ma'am. I breathe a sigh of relief as my excuse weathers Miss Prockling's stare. She turns a few pages in a textbook lying on her desk, instructing the class to do the same as she searches for something. She's distracted. We can finally see what Olivia drew. There's now a surprisingly detailed dodgeball whizzing towards my stick figure's head. I want to be upset, but I find myself admiring her motionlessness. Seriously, she should be an animator. I'm all over what to add and settle on giving the large rat sunglasses as well. A few seconds later, he looks twice as cool as before. I look up to Olivia, pondering how to get it back to her, when a sinister idea comes to mind. Oh no, I pressed it again. Her hood hangs open as it rests on her back. It's a tough shot, but... Bingo! Olivia scratches at the back of her neck and finds a note. She looks back with squinted eyes, judging my intent and scanning me for foul play. She mouths something at me, a question I think, but I'm not the most apt lip reader. Especially when said lips are thrice as long as a human's. She still unfolds the page, and seconds later, she's already added a new sketch and folded it up. The note lands neatly on my desk this time, and I inspect the latest edition. More rats doing decidedly non-rat activities. I wonder what she'd think of a cat this time. We continue passing the sheet back and forth, adding new sketches and adding onto others. My fingers are starting to tire when Miss Brockling addresses Olivia. Alright, Miss Alfred, you may leave now. Everyone else, you may take the last 5 minutes to start on your homework. Olivia takes her time to pack away her supplies, occasionally glancing my way. Gone is the paranoia. It's now just become plain confusion. As if I wouldn't play the doodle game thing with her. Even as she wheels out of the room, I notice her eyes still on me. I give her a... Howdy, Brace. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. No, we are not. I gave her a wave. Give her a wave goodbye, and she seems shocked by that, turning her head and finally passing through the doorway. Right then, homework. Not yet, Brace. Ah, crap. It only now occurs to me that there's a pretty good reason the teacher doesn't want us slacking off during class. For the last 5 minutes, I try to speed read the second chapter in its entirety. Failing to get any good information to use for today's homework, I resolve to just check online for a lecture that's not as boring. Maybe one with some good animation even. With the rest of us finally excused, I realize that I've still got the full page of doodles. Considering all the stuff on it, it'd feel like a waste to just toss it away. I decide to keep it, slipping it into one of my binder's extra plastic sleeves. With everything packed away safely, I shoulder my backpack and exit the room. Man, now I get why Olivia gets to leave some classes early. The halls are so packed and chaotic once class ends. I always end up being pushed around by rowdy students headed towards their next classes. Once school ends, it's even worse. When I saw it yesterday, it was something else. The word riptide comes to mind. I ended up just waiting around for a few minutes for the flow to die down. It's looking like that's just going to be my routine now. Passed by a few more art displays on my way to the stairs back down to the first floor. It isn't the art wing, but there's still a bunch of displays up. Maybe there simply isn't enough space? Something presses onto my chest and lurches me to a stop. It's Olivia, holding out an arm to stop me. Man, my mouth is so dry. She's still staring up at me, though less suspicious. Her jaw is open, but no sound comes out. She realizes her hand is still out and it retracts awkwardly, indecisively darting between her hoodie pocket and her armrest. She expecting something? Oh, the note maybe? Hey, you could have told me. Huh? And you were in Miss Prockling's class too. You could have mentioned that. Sorry, I guess I was sort of aiming for a bit of a dramatic reveal there. Hmm. She brushes her hair aside. Well, whatever. Later, I guess. Why did you stop me out here? She stops her hair chair mid-turn, with gray eyes contemplating the dirty floor. Dirty floor. I don't really get you. Livy's eyes turn back to me, and now I see the nervousness in her pupils. Why do you care? Why indeed? Well, I guess the main reason is I want to be friends. With me, though? Sure. Those tiny moments in which I saw the gator girl, hyperanimate, come to mind, and I can't help but smile. Those small shows of just genuine feelings. I think Mr. Yadikon was right, honestly. Olivia hums in disagreement, finally turning away. Ah, crap. Maybe that was too forward of me? I swing my backpack around so I can reach inside it. I still have that note. Note? What, with the doodles? From class right now? Why? I just figured you wanted. It was fun filling it out and all. Just as I am about to pull my binder, the gator girl looks back at me and shakes her head. It's just doodles, you can throw it out. Keep it. If it's so important. For the briefest second, I saw her mouth form a tiny smile. Now she's looking back to neutrally. Wait, now she's back to looking neutrally at. Huh? I didn't notice the school had elevators. Why didn't more people use it? She flashes a key from her pocket. So it's part of her accommodations. Makes sense. By now, the hallways has cleared up a bit. The elevator arrives and Olivia rolls in. She moves her arm to push the button and jams the key in some slot. What's to look for? You coming? Oh. I slide in beside Olivia just before the door closes. It's probably safe to catch your foot and just reopen, but man, this thing is ancient. There's an inspection certificate lazily plastered above the door from this side. It's covered in coffee stains and other signs of age. Is this thing really safe? Olivia shrugs. What's the worst that could happen? Our legs break? She eyes me with a smirk. This may have been a mistake. Ka-chunk. My heart drops as the space around me seems to drop for a split second. The sound of the worn-out elevator mechanics fills the cramped space. Aiko, just jump when you're nearing the floor. It'll keep you safe. Don't worry. How slow is this thing? Look over to Olivia. She uses this thing daily. Surely, it normally runs smoother. Her mouth hangs open slightly with an unamused grin, watching my sudden onset claustrophobia. Relax, dude. This is normal. Alright, this is normal. This thing jostling around like it's going to drop us at any second is completely normal. When we reach the bottom floor, the doors clunk open and I practically fall out. Olivia casually rolls from behind. Somehow, I sense it's with a degree of superiority. Anyway, see you later? Oh, yeah, see you. Olivia rounds a corner, and I'm left on my lonesome. My senses return to me, and I start making my way to the metro station. Nice, that was a good day. As I make the journey home, it strikes me how much progress I've made with Olivia. It's definitely still in its awkward phase, but I can see that she's opening up little by little. It's starting to become amusing, seeing her get confused by my friendly gestures. All in all, I got a pretty good feeling about this. Liz and Ben sure were overreacting, though. I'm sure I'll tell them all about it. A week into September has come and gone, and I'm finally getting feeling acclimated to St. Hammond. Things have been going pretty smoothly lately, if I do say so myself. Over the past week or so, I've been getting more and more used to my new friends, learning new quirks of them daily over lunch and in classes. Like Olivia's penchant for tail whips. Whoosh! As I sit on the metro to school, my foot comes up to prod at the tender spot on my shin. I also learned how to not borrow Olivia's stuff without asking. She usually tries to keep to herself, but when we're partnered up, I do my best to play nice. Not to say that she's being rude or anything, just quiet. Samurai Jack. Da 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 da. With Samurai Jack. More and more, I kind of figured that part of her silence was just nerves. Except in that silent facet, I think we found some small understanding between us. Enough that I think she's starting to see me as a friend now. Among other things, Damien and Liz are giving me the numbers. Oops. Or rather, Damien gave me both his and Liz's numbers. At first, I thought that Liz would be mad that Damien had basically doxed her, but she doesn't seem to mind when he explained his reasons. I also got Ben's number, since he figured we'd be doing a lot more than team projects in photography class. My eyes roll over to the past messages from my new friends. I became so engrossed at rereading them that I nearly missed the announcement of my stop. I scrambled to get off the metro. The closing doors are just catching my jacket and forcing me to yank it out before I'm dragged down to the tracks. Not going to let that bring my mood down though. It's Friday, meaning after today comes the weekend. It's a quick walk from the station, and I can see the school enter my field of view now. The school looks completely barren. Is it closed? Weird. I look around at some small stores that surround the school, the ones that are usually staffed by student workers. They're also empty. One of them has lights on, but it looks like the manager's looking over some paperwork inside. I don't recall any announcement about a holiday today, and while I admit to have forgotten what day it was in the past, I'm absolutely certain it's Friday. So where is everyone? Even the entryway to school is barren. The door probably won't even open. Yep. Hello? I danced a bit in front of the camera, watching the door. It does not respond. You know what? Damien would probably know what's going on. I flip through my contacts and find Damien's number. I put the phone to my ear and pray that he picks up. After a minute or so of waiting, the dial tone cuts off and is replaced by Damien's voice. Yo, what up, Nico? Hey, Damien. I'm at the school right now, and it looks like there's no one here. Know what that's about? Huh? What are you... There's a brief pause on the other end of the line. Ooh. Didn't you hear? Hear what? Today's the last warm day of the season, so everyone's celebrating. Celebrating? Yeah, we're actually having a cookout at my place today. Say, you want to come over? The generous but spontaneous offer causes me to hesitate for a moment to respond. Thanks for the offer, Damien, but it's alright. I wouldn't want to intrude on your guys' party. What? It's no big deal, dude. My folks enjoy the company, and there's gonna be plenty to eat, too. Plus, Olivia's here as well. I weigh up my options. Either go to the party, or you can just take the metro back home and sit in my room doing nothing. Inky, you still there, buddy? Yeah, still here. I was just clearing my schedule. You sure it wouldn't be an issue? Of course not, amigo. A friend of mine is a friend of the family. Well, alright then. Nice, I'll text you the address. See you soon, compadre. And with that, the call ends. And not a few seconds later, I get a text notification. 61193 Crichton Road. Demon is typing. Go the long way around the neighbor. Go the long way around. The neighbor doesn't chain his dog well. I copy and paste the address to my Google Maps then. Huh. Looks like Damien lives pretty close to the school. Of course. It's taking a little longer than taking Damien's instructions, but I'm not about to try outrunning a loose dog with my physique. Well, I'd better make my way over there. Whoa. Radical, dude. (61189) Ah, here it is. 61193. The house looks standard for a house in this neck of the woods or neighborhood. It's a one-story place, but it looks pretty spacious. Definitely a family house. I walk up to the stone path to the door and ring the doorbell. The grocery bag wrapped around my fingers is starting to chafe a bit. I could have just come right away, but I felt bad coming over empty-handed, so I got something for the party. A simple salad bowl from one of the local stores on the way over. Doesn't seem like much, but as my mom taught me, it's courteous to come with a party or something. Actually, I realized how ill-prepared I look for an end-of-summer celebration. With Damien mentioning a pool, everyone else must be either wearing casual clothes or swimwear. Meanwhile, I'm over here looking overly formal. It's not like I could have thought to bring swim trunks to school. The doors swing open and out steps Damien. Inko? Wow, man, you're crazy early. You've come bearing gifts. Yep, here I am. Didn't want to come empty-handed, so I stopped by the store and got a salad. Oh, you didn't have to, dude. Seriously, though, you didn't have to. My family and I are carnivores. but thanks. Still, it's not like you intend, man. Oh, you didn't give me time, so... Nah, that's my bad. Still, you're here early already, so come on in. Well, don't I feel silly. Damien still accepts the grocery bag and chucks it off to the side somewhere. Come on, everyone's at back right now. He turns back, making for a sliding door to the opposite end of the house. Following after, I barely have the time to take in what I think is the living room and dining room. There's a number of toys strewn about, foam dart guns, and loose game controllers. I want to see. It is a pretty good looking house. It's pretty suburban family, right? Following after, I barely have time. That's the front door, I guess. Following after, I barely have time to take in what I think is the living room and dining room. Damien opens the glass door and gives me a small push out of the house. Hey everyone, we've got a guest already. Stepping out into a wooden deck, I'm surprised to see the pool and yard. To the left of me is what looks to be an older, heavier set version of Damien. Well, I'll be there. Well, how'll you there, partner? Hello, sir. I'm Miko. He shifts the barbecue tongs from his right hand to his left so he can shake my hand. Randy Payne. Just call me Randy. How do you do his voice? Hank Hill voice. Now you listen to me, mister. I work for a living. And I mean real work. Okay, I'll do my best. Randy Payne, you can just call me Randy though. I had the grimace as we shake hands, feeling what I'm guessing is a very sticky marinade. now clinging into my... Didn't think someone would come this early. I just finished getting good stuff, all sauced up. I hope I'm doing his voice justice. As soon as he lets go, he focuses back on the pile of different meats heaped up next to the grill. Meanwhile, I grab some nearby napkins to wipe the sauce from my hand. Oh, what's on the menu? Let's see here. We've got brisket, flanks, ribs, sirloin, tenderloin, top sirloin, the bottom sirloin, rounds and shanks. That's a lot of cow. All marinated in my special mix of wet rub and dry rub seasoning. Oh wow, that's a lot of Randy. That's a lot, Randy. Oh, me and Damien and Soph will be doing it in shifts. So if you're interested, I'll let you lend a hand too, if the missus doesn't rope you into carrying her around too much. Sure, sounds fun. I've never actually grilled before. It's not too tough, you'll see. Now that I'm here, I can finally ask Damien the question that's been on my mind. Hey Damien, so I've been curious this whole time. What exactly is a celebration anyway? Oh yeah, I haven't told you yet. Well, you see, when... Before Damien can properly explain, a motherly voice cuts him. Damien, sweetie, you shouldn't keep your baby brother waiting around any longer. The mention of the younger sibling, a tiny Damien, jumps over the deck railing and... Acid Punch! Oh, and he has a Mr. Beast logo shirt. Oh, why? Why? Vinny. Look, bro, just like from Sparrow Raptors, I told you I could do it. I am so sorry, Inko. Vincent, this is why I didn't want you watching those violent shows. The younger Dino isn't listening. He's already run off to find another victim. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Was that really acid? No. But here, you should wipe that off. Now. I take the towel handed to me and wipe off the splash on my pants from where Vincent had punched. Dilophosaurus spit only gets more acidic after they reach puberty. I begin to rub away the little spittle from my pants with a bit more urgency. Thankfully, he's a bit more me than his mother. Otherwise, you'd need a new pair of pants. Wait, that's an actual thing? So you must be Damien's new friend from school? Oh wait, so you must be Damien's new friend from school. Indeed I am. Damien's mom. Damien's mom's head pops up at the side of the deck with a tired smile. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Hank. Yeah, Hank. Oh, I didn't know we'd have guests so soon. I should have cleaned up more. You can just call me Sophia, dear. Speaking of school, Damien told me that you were here. You were there. Why'd you be going there today of all days? Honestly, I didn't even realize that today is a holiday. I usually mark them on my calendar, but it must have flown over my head. Oh, no worries then. It's mainly us dinos who celebrate it. Yeah, Damien told me a bit about it. I'm not sure I fully understand. In that case, I'd be more than glad to clue you in. It's called Summer's End, as in, this day marks the last warm day of the season. After this, fall and winter start rolling in. Huh? Interesting. Well, this will probably make me sound stupid for- wait, wrong voice. Well, this will probably make me sound stupid for asking. But how come you celebrate it? To put it simply, the cold might be manageable for warm bloods, but not for us reptiles. But for us reptiles, it's no bueno. So we spend the last day soaking in the sun and enjoying the warm weather before it starts getting chilly. Ah, that makes sense. Next thing you know, everyone's wearing extra layers and putting up the heat lamps. Though it apparently used to be Ice Age levels of frigid back in my granddad's age. So I guess we can consider ourselves lucky. Moody speaks Spanish. Whoa. Yeah, me gusta, señorita. Ha, ja. Otherwise, we'd be nothing more than a couple of popsicles with our tails for sticks. The patriarch lets out a laugh that's as infectious as his son's. He wipes a tear from his eye and he goes back to flipping the meat on the grill. Anywho, we're gonna start cooking up the food, so make yourself comfortable. Thank you, sir. I mean, Randy. While Damien's dad attends to the grill, I move to the banister overlooking the pool. It's filled with a couple of aquatic toys and air-filled floaties. Man, I wish my place had a pool. Well, I do have extra jeans at home. Ruining one pair won't be a huge issue. Now, on second thought, it'd be real annoying to deal with drying off and going home. I wonder how he... Whoosh. The hell are you doing here? I was invited. Focus on her face, and the other thing is... What the heck are you doing here? I live here, moron. Crap, right? Damien even told me on the way. Anyways. No, really, why are you here? Nobody was at school when I got here. When I got there. Huh? Yeah, I checked the doors and everything. They announced the holiday yesterday in homeroom, didn't you hear it? That's what Liz said over the PE yesterday? I thought that was the school's anthem or something. Huh, I wonder why, no wonder everyone was staring as I saluted. Must have not been paying attention. But yeah, I asked Damien what was up and he said there's some event going on and invited me. Olivia shrinks a bit into the water actually. Stupid question, but... Are you really okay to swim? There's that glare again. Of course, why wouldn't I be? Well, you know. Thankfully, she gets what I'm saying. Sorry? She simply rolls her eyes. I like it in the water. I kinda wish I knew about all this earlier. I'd have brought my trunks. Ew, no, I'm not sharing my pool with you. What? Why not? Instead of answering me verbally, Olivia's tail whips up some water at me like a large wave. Yo, Winko, check this out! Olivia takes the opportunity to slink back into the water. I think she's doing a weird version of her dead man's float. Well, whatever. What's Damien yelling about now? Yeah, Damien? Well, first, my little bro has something to say to you. Sorry for giving you acid punch, Inky. Looks like he taught his younger sibling about my nickname too. Oops. Let's save. Just in case. It's alright, Vinny! Vinny extends his hand for a handshake, though it's obscured by his sleeves. And secondly, we need a few chairs out here. We got some folding ones, but some also some from the kitchen. Gotcha. Got it. Gotcha. Howdy, Ricker. I want you to hug that gator. Kia! Hello, Ricker. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Gator's so sexy. Dang, Ricker. I didn't know you were into that kind of stuff. They're cheap wood, not real heavy at all. What will your wife, Aisha, think, Ricker? That you'd rather have a gator instead of her? After the chairs, we can do the table together. Mom would be pissed if that got dropped. Why? It's the only one we got. Is Taurus a furry? I'll just wait for him to respond. He'll respond soon enough. He got pinged, so... You just wait. And after everything's said, we can play something fun. Okay, little man? Vincent grins and bolts back towards the house. Damien chuckles and we both follow after the kid. Arg! The table drops the few inches we were able to lift it with a hard crash back onto the tile. I'd be worried about the cracks, but the floor is already pretty shattered around here from the years. The table's actually must actually be their gold storage, and it's painted just to look like wood. That's the only explanation. Catch our breaths and give us strained muscles a moment to relax. Why can't Olivia help us? She's super strong. She's enjoying herself in the pool, bro. Don't want to ruin her time. Her chair thing has wheels. We can use that. I think that might be a bit small. Aw, no fair. She's gonna go to her room soon. Why can't she help? Hey, come on. Not in front of any guests, yeah? It's true, though. You don't know that. Come on. The Damien mini-me pouts. I think I got a better grip on the table. Let's try one more time. Oh, okay. I'm ready. 1, 2... Wait, huh? What's up? Oh, Mom must have been talking about the plastic table in the garage, not the dining room table. You're right. What? Guess we gotta haul this thing back into the dining room, fellas. Great. So there is nothing going on in his skull. After getting the suspiciously heavy table back inside, Damien and I carried the much lighter plastic one out the door. As I catch my breath, I notice a younger dinosaur is gone. Maybe he ran off to do something else. Either way, I guess now's the time to ask. Hey, Damien. Yeah? What was that about Olivia going to her room? Huh? Oh, sorry, yeah, an awkward silence fills the air for a few moments. It's just... she doesn't really stick around for family events like this is all. Regular introvert stuff, you know? It's no big deal. And your parents are okay with that? Why wouldn't they be? She's her own person. Right. She usually makes appearances for food, though. Hey, speaking of food, do you want to go check on the grill? Why? There's no way the food is done by now. I know, I just like the smell. Oh, alright then. Sweet, let's go. As we make our way over to where Damien's dad is manning the grill, I catch a whiff of the spices and marinade applied to all the meat. Sophia's accompanying him, helping to place the meat on the grill. How's it coming along, Pops? You making any how I like them? You know how it is, son. Have a look for yourselves. He steps aside and lets us gaze at the variety of barbecue to set over the flames. The smell of it cooking and the symphonic sizzling sound has my mouth watering in seconds. Good, right? I'll say. Randy uses a pair of tongs to grab a piece of steak that looks halfway cooked. The secret is you gotta let these babies get some time getting seared on each side. That way it really hones in on the flame. Splat. Whoops. There's a bout of silence between everyone as we all stare down at the piece of meat on the floor. It's not too ruined. Hey, Olivia, you want it? A pair of eyes appear over the edge of the pool. Sure, toss it in. What's this now? Randy proceeds to chuck the steak right over into the water, as one would do with chum to attract fish. Whoosh. Jeez. Anywho, since you're our first guest, Dinko, you get the honors of getting choice picks. Which one do you want? Oh, I don't want to impose or anything. Nonsense. Besides, better to get in your picks now before the other guests arrive later. Hey, think of it as paycheck for all the soda and chips you've been getting us. Come again? Well, I guess a burger is more convenient. I don't get to attend a family barbecue every day. Excellent choice, Inko. You want it rare, medium rare, or well done? Inko, go for the rare. Damien licks his lips as he says that. Rare? What the hell? Oh, carnivores, right. Pretty sure a raw burger would kill me. I'll take my burger well done. Yeah, sure, you want ketchup with it too, huh? Come on, Damien. Well, one well done burger coming right up. Yeah, not going to take any chances. You're saying you're missing out, amigo. I'm pretty sure your mother was just messing with him. We'd never serve that sort of thing to a guest. There's no way we could afford the soup. Mr. Randy lets out a hearty guffaw as he lefts the burger on his grill. Oh, it's alright, son. Though it may not look like it, Fall Caldera Bluffs has its share of humans. From what I know, you guys can eat about anything. Raw meat aside. I mean, yeah, I guess. Just be nice to just be able to grab whatever's on sale at the market. Meat prices these days are getting pretty crazy. I've seen some of that synthetic meat around. That might be cheaper. Why not try it out? Hmm. The grill. Even the grill says something. Sorry. There's one taboo I stumbled into head first. Noted. I better change the subject before things get any more awkward. And so, hey, Damien. I've been curious this whole time. What exactly is a Summer's End celebration anyway? Did my dad tell you earlier? Is it the last one day of the year or whatever? Yeah, I get that part, but why is it a holiday? That. Actually, I don't actually remember either. I guess I should have been paying more attention to school. It's a bit concerning that he doesn't know this much about his own culture he's currently celebrating. Actually, it probably doesn't even need a reason. Why would you? It's just the last warm day of the year. Any excuse to for get-togethers is fine in my book. The kid flumps down hard in the grass, in the only way children can without shattering something. And we don't gotta go to school. It's nice and warm, and we get to eat a real good. I think those Mayans had the right idea. Vinny. Mayans, yeah? Hey, Enko, aren't you ever... I don't know this. I don't know what he's referencing there. Howdy, Skeege. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. This is what happens when you engage in sexual acts with a dolphin. That's the previous game, Skeege. That's the previous game. The sexual acts is from the previous game. Yeah, let me pull it up. Okay, save. Put it in Reams. Save, and then I guess I'll pull up what dolphin costume meme. There we go. Save this one as well. Previous game, also hello. Howdy. Yeah, previous game. So if you're familiar with the video game, if you watched E3 like 2020 or 2019 or something, you'll probably remember a game called Volcano High. Goodbye Volcano High, Skeege, if you remember that. That game became so popular, or so infamous, I guess, not really popular, that people started making fun of how the game looks, because it's like all anthropomorphic dinosaurs, right? But then people started making fun of her so much, the main character, Lucy here, Fang over here. People started making fun of the main character so much that they started getting attached to him. And then because they got attached to the character and the character designs, there were some fans of her design that they made like a fan-made game about these characters. It's pretty interesting, and the fan game is actually better than the actual game that got released. It had like it's like a really good message, a really good story, and a really good like gameplay loop, I guess. Even though it's a visual novel, like you make choices and that affects the endings. There were 4 endings, and there's There's like a chart out there that can influence your choices or whatever. And that became so popular, the game. It was so widely praised. It was so popular that the team who made it actually started making real games. They made other like romance visual novels. They're making an RPG, and then this is a sequel to Snoot Game. That's this one on screen right now. So I Want to Hug That Gator is a sequel to Snoot Game, which is this one. And like Snoot Game itself was like pretty edgy, right? There's like school shootings. There's there's a bunch of slurs in there because it's like mainly directed towards the 4chan audience, I guess. So there's a bunch of I guess crude things in there, but overall the story is really good. The message is really good. It's about like just this loser basically who tries to make himself become better, tries to get better, and helps other people along the way, right? People like that so much that they made a sequel, which is this game. I Want to Hug That Gator, in which it's not really a sequel. It's more like it's set in the future of the story, but without any references to the old one. Because the old characters, they don't actually own them, right? They were, they were just. It was just a parody. I thought you were just joking, but I gotcha. I hope I understand. You understand. But yeah, this is a sequel, I guess, to that, with a different set of characters because they can't really use the old characters. But yeah, it's a pretty good visual novel. If you have like the opportunity to, I guess, you should play that. You should also play this, but this one you have to pay for. But there is a demo of this, so play the other one. They're both good. All right, it's about ready. All right, it's ready. It's about time the guest showed up too, isn't it? They'll be here any minute. I don't like visual novel games, so unfortunately. Yeah, it's fine. Slay the Princess was the exception. Yeah, Slay the Princess was pretty good. I just enjoy anything with good characters and good story. Good visuals too. This is actually this game is visually astounding. Let me save real quick and then let's here. Okay, watch this. Oh, what was that sound? Whoa! Ben nudges me back with the back of his hand as the commotion gets closer. Hey, watch it, jackass! Slower your roll, face. My leg! I watch as the perpetrator, aggressor, aggregator, finally rounds a corner and comes barreling down the hallway, speeding right towards us. My instincts kick in and I stumble to the side to avoid the oncoming collision. For just a split second, I get a good look at my assailant. Look at how good that is. This is a visual novel, dude. It's a visual novel, and they made it look that good. They put, like, actual animation on it. Look at that, with the perspectives and everything. I loved that. I was so surprised when this showed up. In the previous game, there was only one animated section. Whoops. And it was just like I guess kind of ecchi. It was just like a shot of like someone's ass like waggling around, and that's it, with leaves falling down. And it wasn't really like animated. But this one, they actually put animation in, like actual animation, right? Oh yeah, and just to be clear, this is like way less crude, way less. It's much more marketable, I guess, to the general audience than the previous one. That one was really edgy. But if you like dig through it, there's a good message there. Oh, Olivia. Across the yard, Olivia contentedly drifted towards the middle of the pool. The old look came across her face upon hearing Damien's mom. She began paddling towards her raised deck. Are you going in soon? So soon? Yeah? Are you sure you don't want to wait until the others get here? Yeah, wait until the food's ready so we can eat together. I'd rather not. I just have a lot of art stuff to do. Sorry. Damien's little brother steps out from the small deck. You said we'd play sometime today. She tries to back her uncertain tone up with a shaky smile. Maybe later, Vinny. Have fun? She lifts herself up from the pool and kneels atop her chair. I'm confused how her legs work, but my best guess is that perhaps they only do above the knees. Turning about, her hands carefully set her feet down onto the chair's footrests. Fully settled into the chair, Olivia rolls herself to the sliding back door of the house. Think of the table. I think the table is just about set. Now, we really are just waiting on the others. Damien, has your friend texted you at all? Yeah, Liz said she'd be here right about now. Oh, it's Liz? Nice. She's bringing her uncle, too. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. That's nice. I'll bust out the brewskis then. In fact, Damien shields his eyes and looks upward behind me. I turn too, but at this angle I can't see anything. Yeah, they're in the front yard. I'll go get them. Damien rushes around the back, rushes through the back door into the house. A moment later, he emerges again, as if to show off the new guests. Come on, don't make it weird. Hi, everyone. Oh, Inko, you're here. Yeah, I got roped in. Neat. Come on, Uncle Mike. Through here. Hey now, I'm not that old. A giant figure lumbers through the doorway. I'm surprised he could even fit in the doorway. That is not what I told him to get. Hey, Michael. Randy, how have you been? The two pat each other's backs and give a firm handshake. Doing good, doing good. How about yourself? What's with the ridiculous getup? Is it Mardi Gras? Ha ha ha, no. Nothing like that. I've just been trying to relate a bit more to the younger generation recently. But it seems we're just too different these days and all. Oh, come on, leave that stuff to the kids. Then he sees me. Huh, Mr. Ferris? You know? Yeah, we've met. He takes the same train as me. He's been helping me out, recommended I try this chain out. Liz jerks her head towards my direction furiously. I'm gonna get it later. Ow. Really regretting the handshake right now. I think he popped all my bones at once. The food will be ready soon. Go, your turn on the grill. Oh, don't worry, kid. All you gotta do is keep an eye on the meat and make sure they don't catch on fire. Damien's father leaves after I nod. The rest too, heading to where Damien, Vinny, and I had just set in chairs at the table. Turning to the grill with a grimace, I swallow my nerves and take up the tongs. There's nothing to worry about. Okay, nothing bad so far. Hey! Ah! Oh. Sorry. Hey Liz, what are you doing here? Oh, everyone else is talking about Randy's cooking, and I figured I'd see what's on the menu. What do you think I'm doing? Why on earth did you get my uncle to dress like he's going to be in a music video? He asked for help. You thought that was good help? Yes, he didn't. He just didn't take it right. Across the yard, Vinny's jumping at the shiny object. Mr. Ferris caves and lends it to him. See? Problem solved. Ignoring Vinny, now strutting around like a gangster. Oh man, whatever. Was actually cooking. I motioned to the silver tray spread out on the grill, next to the grill. That's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat. Actually, aren't you a herbivore, Liz? I am, but I think Damien thought ahead for me. Wait, wasn't that the salad I brought? I knew he wouldn't forget about me like that. Anyways, is Olivia out here? She was just in the pool, decided to go inside. Liz's head is still for a moment, as if she's in thought. I really like that face. Apparently, it's a common thing with her. Yeah, I was hoping she'd have stuck around for once. So, she does this often? Every time Liz's folks throw around a party, she slips away to her room. I sometimes see her at the window. Her eyes motion me to turn and look at a particular window. Can't really see from this angle. Why would now be any different then? Liz shoots me a knowing look. What? Well, I figured she was opening up a little to you. I mean, I guess. To some degree. Not like I have any frame of reference. At best, I can kind of talk to Olivia now. What? Did you just hiss at me? No. Then what? Ah! Spinning around, I see that something has caught on fire. I grab whatever it is with tongs and flail it around, hoping the air would put it out. It worked well enough, but it's pretty burned. Well, that was a lost cause. I give the piece of charcoal a careful look, and yeah, it doesn't look edible in the least. I put it to the side and turn back to face Liz. Anyway, what were you saying about Olivia opening up? Yeah, it's strange, but also good. Certainly a bit surreal after all this time. Liz lets out a sigh and shrugs. Well, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Is what it is. Anyway, I want to go catch up with the others. See you around. See you around. Liz returns to the rest of the gathering, leaving me alone with the grill once again. Burnt piece of meat aside, the rest of the food is looking good. Still, I'm not exactly the best grill master. Not like it matters too much to Damien's folk. Whether the food's actually cooked or not is purely an aesthetic matter. A couple more flips and the meat is brown and sizzling, which is good enough in my book to put them along with the other finished pieces. I think I'm about done with my shift. Damien's turn was next. He's just going to be wrapping up these last few things. It doesn't take me long to spot him chatting with Liz, who's enraptured with whatever guaranteed high-concept discussion they're having. Hey, Damien! Damien's frill things prick up a bit as he turns around to face me. Your turn on the grill. Alright, you got it, hombre. He waves grill over and takes a firm hold of the spatula. Okay, time to get some more... He suddenly pauses, his eyes fall upon the charred remains of a once juicy and savory piece of meat. He picks up the piece of meat and inspects it before chomping down on it with a single bite. Okay, I'll finish cooking up the last pieces. Nicky, if you'd be an awesome dude, can you start serving the others with what's ready to chow on? Give Damien a nod and grab the tray of cooked meat. Take the tray over to the eagerly waiting crowd with all the care to be expected from someone surrounded by a very hungry meat-eating saurian. Upon seeing the platter of delectable and edible flesh, stop whatever they are doing and begin to gather around the table. And then I said, well, it's 'cause you look like a student yourself, miss. Oh, that's rich coming from you. Meat. It's finally here, Vincent. Now remember your manners. Hopefully with my salad too. That's a cute pose. Seems like everyone's having a pretty good time with their meal. They even eat the ones that I cooked. Though I can see that Damien's little brother is making a slight face of disgust. Well, still winds up chomping on the meat anyway. All in all, I'm pretty satisfied with how my cooking turned out. I take a seat next to Damien and Liz and prepare my meal before I dig in. Oh, again. Gotta go with a tried and true, ketchup and nothing more. With my burger prepared, and I go in for my first bite. Got to say, Damien's dad did a pretty great job with the patty. So, what do you think, Inko? Give a thumbs up and smile as best I can with a full mouth. The elder dinosaur gives me a toothy, sauce-stained grin in return. I can see where Damien gets that toothy grin of his. Savoring the well-cooked meat patty and buns, with each bite I slowly lose myself in the party's mood. Though I feel more ancillary from it, seeing the adults lost in work talk while Damien and Liz are handling the excitable Vinny. Humming around a mouthful of burger, my eyes wander. The entire yard is smaller than mine. And there are lots of toys, tons of toys scattered in the low-cut grass. Not too many plants either, just the grass and a couple of shrubs running alongside the fence. The word quaint comes to mind. Maybe intimate, but I could picture the kinds of events that happened back there. Oh boy. I shake my head, clearing my photographer's mind away. It's Damien's place, private property. I just have to ask before I do anything camera related. Thinking about it though, I do have my camera securely stored in my backpack inside the home. Oh. Part of me considers grabbing it, and as I look back toward the house, I spy a certain someone at their window. Olivia leers out across the yard. She's too far away to tell exactly what she's staring at. But that must be her room then. Her gaze shifts a bit. I still can't see what she's looking at, but it is in my direction, or Damien. He's sitting next to me. I carefully trace where her eyes are focused, leaning to the side and slowly coming to. The plate in my hand? Checking back, she's laser focused on something. I wonder. Slowly lift up the plate and Olivia's head tilts upward with it. I lower it and her head tilts downward. Part of me wants to test this further, except that it'd be a real waste of food. Whatever illusion she was under is shattered with a shake of her head. You can hear Olivia's annoyed growl from here. She turns her snout up at me and returns to whatever it is she was doing. So she does want some. Why not come out? Well, I'm sure nobody would mind if I just brought a plate in and left it. Besides, my fingers are sticky from all the finger food, to the point where they stick to my paper plate. It's actually kind of gross. Now I remember why I avoid it normally. Ungluing my fingers from the plate, Damien's mother notices my plight. You can use a kitchen sink for that, Inko. Or the pool. Taking my thoroughly marinated fingers into the pool? That just seems like a future issue for whoever has to clean it up later. Thank you, ma'am. I think I'll use a sink. Damien's already got enough for third, so there's plenty. Oh man, I'd go for some barbecue right now. I mean, I just had burgers earlier, but I can't get enough. I load up a new paper plate with a steak, and whatever remains of the ribs, and discreetly head inside. Thankfully, the sliding door is partially open. Just enough so that I can use my foot to push it the rest of the way open. There's a coffee table in the living room. That's a good place as any. And the kitchen's right here. I'll just rinse my hands off a bit, making liberal use of the dish soap. I start scrubbing my hands thoroughly. While I feel the stickiness start to unstick itself, I look out the window. Damien's parents seem to be focused on Vinny, but Damien's still shooting looks to the left. The hyperactive hybrid shoots up from his seat, disappearing from view. I wonder where he... Woo! Splish. Dang, clothes still on and all. Kid was serious about washing his hands in the pool. Man, I could have gone for a dip myself. The AC in here makes a huge difference. It must be 90 degrees out today. There's plenty of soda, so I'm not in danger of dehydration at least. But geez, I'm only noticing just how warm I am from stepping inside. I'm surprised there's no steam rising from me. Looks a little red too. Good thing I didn't bring any sunscreen. Crap. It's not that bad yet. Maybe the Pains have some sunscreen around. No, they're reptiles. They wouldn't have any. Maybe I'll just have to deal with it. My knuckles start hurting from being wrung to so much. The smell isn't gone yet though. Anyway, it should be clean enough too. Both of us are frozen still, locked in a staring contest. Steak shoved in her mouth. She stares like a deer caught in the headlights. She spits the steak back onto the plate in her lap and grips the insides of her sleeves. Takes me a moment to collect myself and muster up some conversation. Yeah, your delivery came in. You want a soda with that? The joke goes unlaughed at. I tried. May as well. Need to get to the fridge. Oh. Sorry? I step aside to give Olivia some space. She rolls herself over to the fridge, opens it up, and rummages through. We exchange a few awkward glances, to the point that it's palpable in the air. So, what are you doing? Getting a soda. The kid's taking your spot in the swimming pool. That's fine, I'm just gonna go crash in my room. Well, when there's still a party going on outside? I'm busy with art. Stuff. Stuffing the soda can in her coat pocket, Olivia redirects herself, and with a flick of her tail, closes the fridge shut. But what about the party? What about it? It's still going on. And, look, I've got stuff to work on. Even though it's a holiday, it seems like a perfect time to get together with friends and family and not their family, if you haven't noticed. And I'm not going to be here for much longer. That's a new look from her. Was it because of what I said? Olivia? What? There are a couple of different things dancing atop my tongue that I wish to say. Some would be too intrusive, especially after what she just said. However, one sticks out the most, especially after she brought up working on it. I genuinely want to see Olivia's art process. Would you, mind some company? Smooth, very smooth. But seems pretty empty in the house to be by Earlosing. So maybe it'd be nice to hang out. Plus, I've been wanting to see your art for a while. Especially as I recall her freshman piece is displayed right next to the principal's office. I'll even show you some of my stuff. I have my portfolio drive in my backpack after all. I have to hold back my laugh as a silly strangled noise of confusion. Surprised confusion escapes her mouth. Is that an okay then? No, it's just, I don't want anyone else in my room. And how about the living room? I motion at the well-loved couch nearby. She hums in thought for a moment. Are you really that interested? Yes? I've been wanting to see your work ever since I found out that the cityscape piece in the gala was yours. Olivia clutches her hands together tightly. Okay, fine. If you're so interested, you can watch. She wheels herself back towards the shut door. Need to get my stuff set up first. Sure, I'll be here, on the couch. Okay, with that, I'm gonna take a short break. You will see Olivia's art process later. I'll be back. Yes, Skeej, it is a gator in question. It's her. You get to hug her later. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, I am back. Hello. It's now time to continue hugging that gator. I kind of feel bad for missing out on the party too, but I doubt I'll ever get another chance like this. Olivia returns with a small easel, already set up for with a half-finished painting. She takes a moment to shift herself from her wheelchair to the end of the couch, right next to me. She's pretty close to me. I can feel her thigh barely brush against mine, but I try to pay it no mind. Whoa. You get to touch her thighs, bro. Whoa, the gator thigh. The painting looks like a bust of a nondescript dino guy. Although, with how vibrant these guys are, it could easily be a portrait of someone specific. This isn't that good. She rips the page off and crumples it in her hands. Starting over then? Don't interrupt. She takes a deep breath. The paintbrush nears the canvas slowly and gracefully, though it's clear her nerves are getting to her. Okay, wait. Olivia looks down for a moment before she jerks her head back up, her face gaining a reddish hue. Dude, why do you scooch so close to me? I did? You're the one who sat next to me. Oh. She looks away for a moment, realizing how over the top her reaction was. Olivia does a double take at me, her brows furrowing. What's wrong with your skin? I was born like this. Shut up, that's not... You know what it is. You know what? Yes, it is. But I mean, it's red. Oh, yeah, I think I'm sunburned. I look over the red splotch on my arm. Olivia raises a hand and touches it. Ow, why? Jeez, that really hurts? Yeah, it does. I didn't think to get sunscreen on the way over. There wouldn't happen to be any around here, right? Point taken. But... there's some of those spiky plants outside. Aloe something, I think. Just snap a leaf off. Mrs. Payne won't care, probably? I think I've heard something about that plant before, yeah. Alright, I guess I'll give it a shot. You have to ask for permission first. I get up and head out the back of the door. Lo and behold, there were, in fact, a number of those spiky plants around. I walk up to the nearest one, carefully grab the leaf in a spot with dull spikes. It bends and snaps off pretty easily. Man, this looks about good enough to eat, but it probably tastes awful. Is it really good for curing sunburned skin? Probably. Back inside, Olivia started painting again. She gazes intently at the page. And the plate of food I had brought in had been cleaned. Olivia holds up the last rib in her mouth like a cigarette, waggles it up and down between her teeth. When she sees me, crunches a bone. When she sees me, she crunches the bone in two, and swallows the last of it whole. I bring up the aloe leaf. This it? She nods and extends a hand to grab it. I hand her the thick leaf and extend a single claw. Once she catches the edge of the skin, she makes quick work peeling the husk off. You do that often? Not me. Sophia uses it a lot to make smoothies for the family and healing salves for Vinny. They're pretty. They're real pretty too. Olivia blinks, coughs, and grimaces. To paint, I mean. Natural, homemade healing must be, huh? Gonna have to ask for that later. Could come in handy down the line. That might be foreshadowing, I don't know. I move to remove my jacket so that the aloe can be applied properly. But I don't get far before I notice Olivia's face turning a darker shade again. No! No need to remove your jacket. Just roll up your sleeves and put the jelly on your neck. She hands me the now exposed aloe jelly, all while doing her best not to lock eyes with me. After rolling up my sleeves, I scoop out a dollop of the opaque substance. The feeling of relief hits me the moment I spread it across my neck. Man, this feels good. I start applying more to my nose, cheeks, and most importantly, the top of my head. Look at the top of his head. As I do, I watch Olivia continue her painting and taking extra attention to her brush strokes. The way she moves it up and down the canvas with such smoothness and gentleness shows her level of concentration. Not too rushed, but also not that overly focused on the art either. Using the last of the aloe to cover my arms, I'm fully covered in the rudimentary remedy. I take a second to throw away the husks in the kitchen trash, catching a glimpse of the party outside. Everyone looks like they're having a good time out there. Except for Mrs. Sophia, who is currently trying to chase a very well-soaked Vinny with a towel. Back on the couch, Olivia's painting is starting to take a more defined shape. Like the cityscape piece, however, it looks more organic. She continues to paint in silence, occasionally doing a quick glance at me to see if I'm still watching. I don't want to poke at Olivia for no real reason, but this might just be my only chance to ask. Hey, Olivia? Your family, the Paynes, they seem like a lively bunch. What's that supposed to mean? Like, I knew Damien was eccentric, but I can see that he gets it from the rest of your family. First of all, the Paynes are my godparents. Secondly, yeah, they are. So, how long have you known them for? Olivia pauses for a moment mid-brushstroke and then continues. Practically my whole life. Damien and I have known each other since we were carpet crocs. And his parents have known my dad since, well, forever. Since before we were even neighbors. Ah, friends of the family? Pretty much. The whole reason why I'm living with them. Her muzzle clamps shut. Forget what I just said. The words were spoken with a tone tinged bitter with something. A tone I felt very familiar with, whenever my own family is brought up. Sure. The only sounds left now are her brush strokes on the canvas. My focus turns back on the patch of blotchy red and pale acrylic oil slowly forming across the white expanse. Occasionally, Olivia's gray eyes would glance my way before going back to her work. Compared to the more rapid pace of time-lapse art videos I had viewed, she was more deliberate with each of her movements. Pretty obvious since most of those were done digitally, another thing I did not consider. Still, staring at the painting in progress itself, there's something uncanny about it. It's now more formed, definitely looking like something. Cupping my shin with one hand in contemplation, I use the other to try and trace out the peachy pale and vibrant red colors. Olivia looks back at me again, and a glint of something shines through her eyes. Hold that pose now. Hey, how long have you been using me as a layman doll? Her hand fails to cover up the snort that comes from her nose, followed by a gremlin-like cackle. Consider it the price to see my process. I want a refund. Nope. Looking again, it's slowly becoming an oil bust of my burnt face. Looking in a mirror, eh? Can you at least get my good angle? Nope. Looking back towards the mural du melanoma, Olivia starts adding in a blotch of cream by my head. A sigh escapes my lips. Hey, I said stay still. Why? I'm not that red. Another high-pitched giggle comes out of Olivia. It's called artistic license. Well, it tends to be renewed. It needs to be renewed. Despite being the butt of her joke, I feel myself smiling. Must be the new sounds from her. It's the first time I think I've seen her happy outside of Yodacon's class. And yeah, that laugh of hers is kind of infectious. The silence returns, though the mood feels much lighter now. I feel so stiff right now. I don't know how long I've been holding this pose now. If I had to guess from the sunlight filtering into the house, it's been at least an hour. Mural du melanoma was almost done, and was staring back at me with the most intense eyes. Olivia's attention was left on one final detail: the hand holding my chin. I'm thankful she'd finished the sunglasses first, because a reflected light from the sliding back door had been searing my retina. Olivia, hush! She turns her head and focuses entirely on the hand held by my ear. Pupils are moving rapidly to try and take in my every last detail. Her fingers twitch and as her hand hovers over the painted hand. Her eyes are now shifting between my hand and eyes. Her hand is now quaking, and a growing redness suffused her face. The more she looks towards my eyes, the more her arm shakes and face brightens. Finally, she turns away from me entirely, bringing both her arms with her and away from me and the canvas. Okay. Her cheeks puff out as she exhales her held breath. Okay. That's so rude. That's a pretty good painting, though. That's something I would draw. But digitally, not physically. I can't do physical. There's no Control-Z in real life. Finally, she turns her cherry red face to the canvas and inspects her near complete portrait. I'll come back to this later. Yeah. Can I... Yeah, you can drop your hand now. Finally. Lay back on the couch, feeling my spinal cord pop in rapid succession. I said your hand. Can't. Attempt to stretch my arm in front of me, and because of my stiffened muscles, my forearm is pulled back towards my face. I repeat the motion several times, and the movement helping to ease the muscles until finally my arm doesn't feel so spring-loaded. Spring-loaded. I can't speak. Why am I reading if I can't speak? While I was busy trying to fix my arm, Olivia was packing up the canvas. Huh. That's about it. You can go join the others or whatever. She drags the canvas, easel, and acrylic tubes back into her room. I wonder if she'll keep that one. And I wonder if she'll stay in her room again. We've been inside for a while. I don't think anyone has noticed we've been gone. Vinny and Damien seem to accept that Olivia would stay inside. But, wait. I've caught her a bit off guard. Okay, this seems like an important choice. I want to invite her outside. I'm going outside. It would be rude of me to leave without saying bye, at least. She looks at me quizzically. Sure, but I think I'll try staying until the end. This has probably been the best day I've had since I moved here, and my first real friends in a long while. I'm glad to have been invited. She's not leaving, but she's scanning me suspiciously. Damien's been a great friend, and his folks have been really nice. Better than my own parents, even. We're lucky to have them, I think. I guess. Good for you. Have fun with that, I really need to. I think you should come along. She freezes. What? Her eyes widen. Some of the color leaves her face. No, I can't. Why not? Mr. and Mrs. Payne. Oh, howdy, Azura. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. They already have Vincent and Damien to worry about, and right now, they're hosting all the other guests. They've got plenty to deal with already. I'm not worth the accommodations. Just leave it. Let them be normal. I am seeing howdy. That's Poggers! Azura, I said your name! Ah, Poggers! And even then, it's like I said, I don't have much time left. That's a little overly harsh. And it was every argument she had. They're the kind of arguments that come from desperation and guilt, to convince herself it's for her own good. Actually, like, a streamer said your name? Happy? Something weird happened yesterday? What's up? Maybe it's a little presumptuous, but I think that's at least the sort of thoughts I've had reading notes from my parents, allotting me resources like I'm an anthropomorphized male. It certainly doesn't seem like I'm worth it to them sometimes. But they're your godparents, right? They're helping your folks, yeah, but they choose to have you here. They chose to have you here because they want to let you be normal. That doesn't hurt a normal part of their family, I mean. Like I was banned from chatting anywhere on the site. Like I would type something, oh, but nobody would see? Really? Does it show up on streams? Azura shadow ban? What were you saying, Azura? Were you saying slurs? Can't believe this. Can't believe Azura would just swear like that. Say bad words. No, not either. Interesting. Whose chats in particular? Maybe they were like really big and they just couldn't see you. I don't think they'd have you here if they didn't want that. Oh, please, go on and tell me more about my own family. Her voice is sardonic. She's not making eye contact anymore, but she is listening intently. And not even on small creators. Interesting. Maybe it's like your internet or something. Like the only way I was acknowledged is if I redeem something. Oh, are you on phone, Azura? Are you on phone? And redeems that needed text will always have an error. Because I know that if when you like load up a stream on your phone, if it doesn't say welcome to the stream, you're not actually like connected to the stream chat. And like whatever you type in doesn't show up. Both phone and PC experience it though. Interesting. It's probably just your internet then. It's all the stuff she's known already. But that is pretty weird. You're absolutely right about one thing. And I don't know why. You don't even have much time left to try. Neither do I. Honestly, because even if it's mostly because of moving. Hell nah, man. Odd. That is odd. Secret shadow ban. Shadowban.exe. My net was okay yesterday. The fact that you said okay means that it's not always good. It's not the best. You know what they say about Rolling Stones gathering no moss? I sent a ticket yesterday and said it says like I'm ban invading, but I'm like, not? Oh no. Maybe someone like has your like a similar username to you. It's my only account. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'm glad that it got resolved. So I'm glad. But yeah, in that way, we're in the same boat. Give it a shot. There's some perfectly good moss right out there. Okay. I'll try it with you. That analogy was pretty dumb, but you're right. The back door squeaks back open. Even with sunglasses, I wince at the sudden brightness. I take a step out and stretch my back. I'd be banned faster and earlier if every .exe or every Azura has decided to mess around and do something bad, yeah. That is pretty funny, though. Yeah, it's like azurman.exe. I take a step out and stretch my back, working out the last bit of stiffness from my shoulders. Olivia still waits at the threshold of the door. What are you waiting for? A curtain call? With a grin, I draw the sliding door even wider, and with a beckoning wave, I attempt to usher Olivia out, as if I were her personal attendant. Cut that out, don't make it weird. Despite her words, her tone is more humored than annoyed with me. Relax, nobody was even looking. But it looks like there's definitely no more food left. About right. As Olivia rolls down a small wooden ramp I had noticed, we catch Damien on the bottom step. Olivia? At the table, heads turned towards us, a look of surprise etched on the faces of most of them. Instead of answering him verbally, Olivia's hand comes up in a nervous wave. The rest of the party resumes their prior discussions, although maybe a bit livelier than before. Hey, cool to see you out here again. Hey Damien, what are you all the way here for? Can't stand to be by Liz's uncle while he's eating. He's got those fibrous teeth. Ugh. Like blue whales have? Yeah, freaks me out. His dentist must make a fortune. Ha, yeah. Hey, Olivia, what are you doing back out here? You forgetting something? No, I just thought it'd be good to enjoy the weather while it lasts. Damien perks up with his frills undulating. Ew. No, Damien, stop that. Undulating frills. It's like parts of the Caribbean. Davy Jones, whatever his name is. Olivia quivers as Damien's grin grows wider and frills start moving faster. Ew, stop it. Even when I'm getting unnerved by how those things moves. Damien. Sorry, you know these things got a mind of their own. Finally, those weird flaps still. Dude, you were just complaining about Mr. Ferris and his teeth. At least he can keep his mouth shut. Hey, I could always wear a beanie. No, you can't. Remember the last time you tried? Both Damien and Olivia share a laugh over some event they're privy to. When they finish, Damien asks $1 million question. So, are you going to join in, or...? She turns her head my way, and I give her a supportive thumbs up. Yeah. Damien finally stands from the step, and we all start heading for the table. Each partygoer greets us when we approach. The loudest from... Livy! Hey. You finally came to play again. The rambunctious boy hoots and hollers as he bounces in circles around her. Olivia huddles her arms and looks aside in my direction, feeling the stares from the table. I give her a reassuring thumbs up. Actually, this is perfect. Thank you, Vinny. This is something Olivia's able to give. She was so worried about just talking. I hope she goes for it. I'm a little tired, Vinny. What? No, come on, Livy. You promised we'd play today. Like old times. I... Please? Oh. Alright, you win. I did promise. You want to play some cannon then? Yeah, cannon. Alright then, ready? Round loaded. Fire! She just tosses it. Oh, this was a bad idea. Woo! Randy! Wait. Randy's tweeting and then Randy! Relax though, Vinny's still young. Michael, Vinny, be careful. Okay, Mom. I'm okay, Mom. Phew. Have you gotten stronger, Olivia? No, shut up. Anyway, can we do it again, Livy? Olivia smiles and pats his head. It's weird seeing it, but she readies Vincent for another launch. The gator girl has a bright, toothy smile she never thought she'd had. Mr. Payne? Alright, how do you do his voice again? Alright, I get it. Alright, I get it. Vincent! Yeah, Dad? No more cannon today. Olivia and Vincent share a disappointed look. Now, there's a lot of things you two can do. Vincent perches up and immediately rushes off. Oh, I know. Olivia turns back to the rest of the group with an uneasy smile. Mrs. Payne steps forward, her hands held up and wavering. Olivia. Hi, Auntie. Mrs. Payne and her husband approach, both with nervous smile. She speaks, it's with a certain restraint, her holding her excitement back. As though worried if it showed too much, she'll change her mind and go back in. I didn't miss much, right? I'm so glad you came out, dear. The older woman kneels in front of her and wraps her arms around Olivia. Aye, it's been too long, little Ace. Randy's hand ruffles her hair while his other arm also encircles both Olivia and Sophia, and while Olivia does her best to avoid his palm. I can see the tiny smile on her face. Time seemed to pick up speed after Olivia had come out. Damien and his father returned to the grill, managing to prep and cook a final serving of meaty goodness for an early dinner. I decided I could go for seconds, and get a few scraps of this and that. I nearly dropped my food when I get a rough pat on the shoulder from behind. It's Mr. Payne. He looks down at me with a thankful smile. Mrs. Payne and Mr. Ferris had continued their conversation till Mr. Ferris's throat ran dry. And the rest of us had to contend with a hyperactive child with an armory of foamed dart guns. I felt bad for Liz. She'd become a one-woman shooting gallery for the boy. And Olivia. And me. And Damien. But at least he looked apologetic about it. But now things are winding down. The food is officially all gone. Everyone is exhausted, physically and mentally. Oh. And yet thoroughly satisfied emotionally. Olivia pads by me, having returned to the pool to cool down and stretch out. There was just one last thing to really cap this off. Okay, everyone. Aw. I hollered to everyone currently on the deck, grouped up nicely for me. I'm surprised Mr. Ferris is that small. I thought he'd be bigger. Looking through the viewfinder of my propped-up camera, I adjust the focus to ensure that everyone is captured perfectly in the shot. This is a cute picture. Look at Vinny just pretending to be gangster. Where's my H button? There it is. This is a pretty good picture. Alright, on 3, give me your best smiles. 1. Wait. Olivia turns away from the camera, looking towards Damien. With a grin, Damien waves for me. Dude, you gotta be in this too. There's nods and words of agreement from everyone. Well, it's been a while since I've used this mode, so why not? Setting the time delay, along with the sports mode, I'm sure with 10 rapid succession shots, at least one of them will be perfect. I can always do with some post-production on it too. Ensuring that the focus is still fine, I click the shutter button and keep the count in mind. 30, 29, 28. By 13, I've settled myself next to Damien and above Olivia. Alright. 9, 8, 7. I feel something wrap around my ankle and press against my back on 4. 3, 2, ah! My camera flash goes off 10 times as I'm pushed over by Damien and pulled into the pool by Olivia. September 25th. It's been nearly a full month and things are starting to feel natural in school now. Well, at least compared to my old schools. Except now I've actually made some good friends. Pretty sure we're good friends anyways. I don't actually know how to measure friendship. Aside of that party a few days ago. Also, so true, Oomfy. I agree with that. I wish there was like a real life social link meter, right? What level am I on with everyone? Aside of that party a few days ago, I haven't hung out with any of them outside of school. If friends just hung out at school and good friends just did stuff outside school, where does that put us? Well, it's still early in the school year. I'll figure out the friendship conversation right at some point. It's not like I'm rushing either. Shades, focus! Leaving my current thoughts, I realize that I've been in the middle of climbing a rock wall in the gymnasium. Huh? What was I spacing out again? Oh, whoa. He's upside down. Oh, right. All the blood rushing to my head. I think with that... it's a good time to end stream. At this point, they released a demo for this game. They released a demo for this game, right? And this point is when it stopped. It only had like 4 days, and I can't wait to see the rest of it. I have 6 hours on this at this point. It probably didn't take that long for everyone else, but since I read everything, it took a little longer. But this is a pretty good game. Really enjoy it. I don't know if I'll continue playing this on stream, but I'll probably enjoy it off stream. And expect to see like fan art or something, maybe, if I do finish it off stream. But I really do enjoy this game. It's a nice and calming visual novel. One thing I don't like though is oh, I hear myself. One thing I don't like is how fast it seemed to go in this final day. Like your social link just ranked up like 3 points. Why did I? But yeah, your social link just ranked up like 3 points. In this one day, right? In like last time, it felt like things were just getting started, but then now, she's basically already shown that she's into you, right? I don't know if I like how fast it is. I thought it was gonna be like demo only. Like, oh, it's fast because they didn't really have the ability to end things off right away in the demo without like putting more content in. But no, it's just as fast within the full game itself. So the fact that it's this fast means that there's probably a lot more story later on in the video game. But yeah, when I looked at the reviews for this game on Steam, it seemed like everyone finished it in like what? I don't know. 10 hours? Around? It's around a 10-hour game. Let me double check. How many hours did I play this on, like, for the demo? How many hours was the demo? Oh, I can't even download the demo anymore, because I already have the full game. It's a little weird, but oh well. But yeah, I really like this game. It's a good game. Probably won't be playing it on stream because I don't know if I'll enjoy just reading things over and over. I don't know if I'll enjoy the game properly at that point, but hey, we got up to the end of the demo, which is pretty good. You guys should play this game. It's a good game. It's a good game. The previous game is really good too. But yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Who should we raid into? Who should we raid into? Is anyone else playing this game? Probably not. There's no VTubers playing the video game. But I do see like a few spoilers of like later on in the video game, so I'm excited to see it. But who should we raid into? Why not Soul? We can probably raid into Soul, right? Okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please have a great rest of your night, and see you guys all tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be hanging out with Weiss. We will be playing Battle Network. Oops, I'm not shouting out Mega Man. Weiss_Hikari. Follow him. Watch his stream tomorrow. We'll both be playing and streaming at the same time. Please enjoy. Yeah, thanks for watching, Bagat. Thanks for hanging out. What else? Yeah, we'll be playing Mega Man Battle Network tomorrow. It's a good game. And then next week, I will be playing Mega Man X6. Ooh. I'm excited for that. X5 was really good. X6 is probably just as good. But yeah. Say hi to Soul for me. He's a great streamer. He really likes his Resident Evil, and now I guess he's playing through all Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So yeah, see you guys all tomorrow. Bye bye.